Can your snowblower do that? I freaking love that. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, giving you the best tips and tricks to survive life in and out of the garage. And remember, if you're feeling the vibe and you want to be part of the tribe, subscribe. I bought this 1971 ARIENS sno-thro for $100 on Craigslist. Is it better than any new snowblower on the market today? Let's find out. Stick around. So I have had this wild idea bouncing around in my head for some time now. The idea? Buy an old snowblower, fix it up, and turn it into a snow-throwing tank. More on that later in the video. Due to space in my garage, I aimed for a 24-inch wide snowblower so it wouldn't take up too much room. My grandmother had one of these when I was growing up, and when we got lots of snow, I would help her clear her driveway with it. I was always amazed by how heavy-duty they were for their time, so I set my sights on finding one. And after surfing Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace for a very, very long time, I stumbled across this 1971 ARIENS sno-thro. And it is in excellent condition. And even better, it runs! Given the Buffalo area and how much we get snow and how often snowblowers get used, finding one in mint condition is damn near impossible. My patience finally paid off when I found this bad boy, and for those of you that have been following this channel for some time now, you know how much I like a good backstory behind a piece of equipment. This ARIENS has just that. A gentleman by the name of Ward, awesome guy, was selling this beautiful sno-thro not even 10 minutes from my house. I called him up and went to check it out the next day. Needless to say, I was shocked by the outstanding shape it was in. This 1971 ARIENS sno-thro at the time of the filming of this video in 2022 is now 51 years old and has been meticulously cared for. It was owned by Ward's father-in-law from 1971 to 1998. That was when his father-in-law handed it over to him. From 1998 till now, Ward has used this every single year up until this year. To give you an idea of how good of care Ward took with this machine, he would drain the gas after every single use to empty out the carburetor. He had it serviced regularly and then sprayed and lubricated it whenever necessary. Ward had just picked up a brand new snowblower, had two sitting around now, and was willing to part with it. He went into great detail about everything on it. He then asked me what I was going to do with it. Was I going to fix it and flip it? Normally, with any other machine, I would. But with this ARIENS, no way. I hope the garage gal doesn't watch this video. I kind of laughed when I said no, and then I told him that this puppy is an antique, and it's staying with me. He kind of looked kind of surprised when I said that. I told him that this is going to be a restoration of sorts, and it's not leaving my garage. I think he was happy to hear that, and he told me that I'm officially the third owner of this ARIENS. Now let's talk about what's going on here. ARIENS, the king of snow, started out as a company just making tillers, then in the 60s and 70s went on to make the Track Team series, which allowed the homeowner to link multiple attachments to complete just about any task around their yard. And quite possibly one of the best attachments to come from that era is the 10,000 series sno-thro. This machine has truly withstood the test of time. The model number on this unit is 910995. The back half model number is 910962. It has the 24-inch teardrop bucket, just the size I was looking for. A 12-inch impeller housing, and that's batting a 50% auger to impeller ratio. That's pretty good. Take a look at its massive augers. These things are 3 inches wide with 1/8 inch thick steel. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of those. They take up nearly every inch of the bucket, allowing you to break up big piles of snow. On most new snowblowers, the augers are small and only come up about halfway. Further in, a super thick gear case. This thing has already outlived me and will definitely keep going. Incredibly strong, super thick metal, impervious to anything in its path. This entire bucket is made of rock solid steel. Not just thicker, far thicker than any snowblower today. You can't bend this without a serious fight. I always see new auger housings bent up and out of shape. In fact, I did a video a while back on fixing that, and I'll have it linked down below in the description. Absolutely no plastic in here like you see on some new snowblowers. Further in, you'll see super thick impellers with minimal clearance from their housing. And if you know me well enough, I think you know what I'm going to be putting on each of those impellers. As far as rust goes, it's minimal at best. These units were definitely made with a heavier grade steel that's far better at resisting corrosion than any other thinner metal unit today. Now the exterior of this bucket from this line forward was painted. Everything else is original. The paint job, however, on this was done so incredibly well that you need a fine eye just to even tell. Now I'm not sure if Ward did it or the original owner, but I'm not concerned about it because it's almost a dead-on match. Inside, the paint is still well intact, with only minor paint wear to the augers, the gearbox, and the bucket itself. Inside, the impeller tube is where you'll find most of the rust, but it's still oddly smooth considering how it looks. Now let's have a look at the chute. It's in great shape too. The crank and the worm gear itself work very well. Look at her go, baby! This beats the pants off of any cable control chute, hands down. These cranks live forever. Super wide exit hole here. That thing's almost 6 inches wide. Far wider than anything you'd see on a machine today. Again, heavy duty metal here. Better than those plastic chutes that just wobble around as snow comes out of them. This guy doesn't budge when a chunk of ice hits it. Old style adjustable top so you can point the snow in the direction that you want it. Inside it's got some rust, but for 50 years, are you kidding me? That's nothing. Another cool thing that I don't think any new snowblower nowadays can do is pivot or point the snow behind you. This comes in handy if the snow is blowing at you a certain way. Even off to this side, you can still point it over your shoulder. If there is a machine out recently that can do this, let me know down below in the comments because I don't think there is one. You just don't see that anymore. Now let's talk about the Track Team rear end. One of the only pieces of plastic on this guy is the belt cover. Considering its age, it only has one minor crack right underneath this bolt that holds it on. Most plastic covers have 2 bolts to hold it on. Take that off, and you have one belt pulley underneath. Now stop! Before we go any further, I gotta let you know that by today's standards, this is one of the most unsafe machines ever built. Just look at how many safety stickers there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. These augers, once they're on, they're on. Very different controls compared to today's models. And once I turn this on, you'll see that these augers are actually pretty scary to look at when there's no input coming from the driver. Here's how you do it. Lever down. That releases tension on the belt. You're gonna turn this lever in. That locks the gears down below. Lever up, and your augers will be in full spin. Pretty innovative for its time. Also, everything inside is pretty clean and in relatively good shape. Now let's move down to the wheels. These tires are 50 years old and still have remnants of the inspection stickers on them. You don't see center hubs looking like that anymore. These tires are pretty much useless without the chains. This tread does not dig in very well on its own. It does have a locking rear differential to make both wheels move as one and provide maximum grip. Or you can take the pin out and this becomes one of the most nimble machines in town. That heavy chain just clanking along, I love the way that sounds. This thing just sounds so mean coming down the driveway. The base just below the engine is clean and not covered in grease or oil. Other than a few marks here on the surface, there's no rust and it's in great shape. The handlebars have a beautiful chrome finish. This really adds to the overall design of this unit. And the chrome is holding up beautifully. What snowblowers have chrome on them? These ARIENS panels that connect the handlebars always seem to crack, and this one only has one little crack here and one little crack here. Not bad for 50 years. Up top, here are the controls. You have your throttle and stop switch up here. You have your transmission clutch below and your gear shifter on this side. And this guy is just like a clutch pedal in a car. You have to let off of it easily or else you're gonna chirp the tires as you take off. This thing is a speed demon. To shift, clutch goes up, shift into first, and then ease off the handle and away you go. To stop the machine, pull up on the clutch, shift back to neutral, and ease off the clutch. Pretty cool, right? It's literally a stick shift.
Can you drive stick?
Don't have to worry about snapping a cable here. Look, no cables, just thick steel rods. I would give anything to have those on my snowblower over there. These rods never fail. Now it's time to talk about the old school Tecumseh engine. This is the Achilles heel of this machine. 7 horsepower, powerful for its time. The model number on this Tecumseh is H70-130067. The entire engine block is relatively clean, and in some spots it appears that it has received a coat of paint. But again, very well done. It also has relatively clean oil, showing that it has been changed. Starting this machine up is a bit of a chore. According to the instructions here, make sure your engine is in full choke. You're going to press and and hold the primer button in, and then while you're doing that, you're going to grab the recoil handle and pull gently 2 times. After you've done all that, you're going to grab the recoil again, pull it rapidly, and then the engine should start. However, I have yet to be able to start this thing with the pull rope. In fact, I work out a lot, and I can tell you, I almost blew my shoulder out trying to pull that thing up. It is so difficult to pull this thing. Oh my God. The electric start does work though. This is a very unique looking electric start, all one piece. Usually there's the starter motor, a wire, and a plug box sitting up top. On this one, it's all right here. Same procedure, choke, prime, and then start. Once you get it going, you gotta back the choke off very slowly over the course of a couple of minutes. I can tell you this, as it runs, it operates very smoothly considering its age. No heavy pops or smoking. It is old enough to smoke. And it revs up pretty good. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go throw some snow. Now, while that snowblower is warming up back there, I managed to pile up about 2 feet by 10 feet long of heavy packed snow here. Temperatures have been really cold in the single digits for the last couple nights, so we got nothing but solid packed ice right here to dig through with that snowblower. Can your snowblower do that? I freaking love that! So now let's see how far those flakes flew. About halfway into the neighbor's yard. Right about there. That's about a good 20-25 feet. This machine, however, did not like big mounds of snow in front of it. The engine would bog down, but it wouldn't quit. This engine literally went like it was totally exhausted. So between the difficult startups and the tiredness and heavy snow mounds, I feel that this sno-thro is in need of an engine swap. A good friend of mine says that he wants this engine, and I've worked on lots of these small engines over the years and never had any luck with them. Spending countless hours tuning them up, then putting them back together, only to see that they don't work any better than they did before. In my opinion, once these Tecumsehs get to a certain point, they're cooked. I know there's probably some fans out there that are yelling at their screen right now saying, no, fix it! But cost-wise, to me, they're just not worth the time or the money to fix them. In fact, some of the parts can actually get pretty expensive. This gas tank, 55 bucks. OEM carb inside, 60 bucks. This cover, 35 bucks. The costs can add up quick. My friend has a far better understanding of them, and it's nice knowing that this engine is going to good hands. Plus, my goals for this machine require a little extra oomph, so stay tuned to see what I have planned. This will be a fun upgrade. I've got one more really cool thing that made this whole purchase even sweeter. I have had a lot of snowblowers come through this garage, but I have never had one that's came through with all the original owner's manuals. I don't even think a new machine comes with this much paperwork. So here is the original parts manual. Check it out, they wanted 25 cents for this. This goes over the tractor and the sno-thro attachment. Warranty information down at the bottom. It's got your model number for the tractor component, and then your model number for the sno-thro attachment. Inside an entire parts diagram with all the part numbers. Same thing for the sno-thro attachment. That's cool. This manual is your operating instructions, and inside it breaks down every single component. The engine, the tractor clutch, the shift control lever, everything. It points out where each item is. It shows you where your oil drain and engine clutch are, your differential lock, and then sno-thro operating hints. On the back, it goes over general service, lubrication, and storage instructions. I think we got that part covered on this channel. This document goes over over the sno-thro assembly and model numbers for the track team rear end. This manual is for the Tecumseh Snow King horizontal crankshaft 4-cycle engines. This is the one that we got on this model. Next, we got a safety manual. I love all this. This is just too cool. Look at this guy. Snowblower's getting away from him. Then we have the quick facts on care and operation of your new ARIENS sno-thro. It's even got the wire that held it onto the handlebars. Inside, it goes over all the controls and the type of oil you should put in, and then even the types of lubricants you can use on the machine. And again, it goes over proper storage. We have a quality audit card. Open it up and it shows how they did a quality inspection on the unit before it left the factory. And then on the back, it's signed by the quality control inspector. That is very cool. And then for the last form, check this out. Look at this sweater this dude's wearing. That is hilarious. I am totally gonna snowblow my driveway wearing a Christmas sweater looking like that. That is funny. Comment below if you think I should try to reenact this photo with that sweater and that snowblower. Word must have printed this bad boy out, and it goes over the 5, 6, and 7 horsepower sno-thro models. This is basically just a reprint of all the other manuals put together. This one even came with a new float, a new shear pin, a carb kit, a new gasket, and a bowl seal. That is pretty cool, and I'm gonna hold on to all that stuff. So is this 50-year-old ARIENS sno-thro that I bought on Craigslist for $100 better than any new snowblower today? In many ways, yes. Thicker metal, stronger gearboxes, huge augers, wider exit holes, heavy-duty chutes that can point back, simple chute cranks, no cables, transmissions that work with none of that plastic crap inside that breaks over 2 years, lockable differential, and powerful engines for their time. One thing that was really cool is I invited my dad over to check this thing out right after I bought it. He used to use a machine just like this back in the day, and it was pretty cool to see the smile on his face. Definitely a nostalgic moment and a blast from the past for him. In 1971, this machine cost right around $425. By today's standards, that means this machine would cost around $2,000. That alone is pretty remarkable. I have so many plans for this ARIENS sno-thro. New engine, tune the engine to get more power out of it, impeller kit, new tires with better traction, new skids, plus plenty of maintenance tips along the way. This is going to be a very fun project going forward. Don't forget to give me one of these. For more cool garage gear content, check out my links right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.